Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Joshua Ryan with FandomWire.
Hey
Hi.
Joshua, how you doing?
Good. I just want to start off by geeking out a little bit, Kevin. I want to say I watch King of Queens literally probably every day. It's like my comfort show. So,
Really?
yeah, I had it on earlier this morning when I was getting ready for work.
Take that,
And
Christina. By the way, every other interviewer could care less about me, Joshua. They only
So
want to
oh
talk
my
to
gosh.
Christina, and they would throw me one like bone of a question every once in a while just to keep me involved because they love her so much. So thank you. This means the world to me, Joshua.
Well, good. And for Christina, I do want to say the first movie I ever saw in theaters, part of what helped start my love for the movies. I was 5 years old when I saw The Addams Family, and I still remember my parents taking me to see it. And
That's awesome.
so it's just really great to talk to you both.
Oh wow, so nice to talk to you too.
Nice to talk to you, man.
So I guess I just want to start by finding out how did you guys both come to be involved in this movie? It seems like the story is a little different than the types of movies you guys have both done in the past. So how did you guys get into this one?
Christina?
You go first because you have a
Okay.
long history with it.
Okay. Well, I got involved first through the director, Ed Drake. He had called me and asked if we wanted to do this type of action kind of family movie. And it was, again, intriguing to me because I haven't done like a lot of movies that are, with this tone. It's a little different for me. And once we were in it that way, and I saw what he was about and talked to him, and I trusted him. It felt great, and we just went from there. We were like, let's make something great, and it was kind of like the little engine that could. This movie that is going out there with these other big box office physical crazy action movies, and we knew what we had, but the story was cool and it was fun, and then of course we got Miss Ricci, and she's just amazing. So that was the key for me.
Christina?
I was cast closer to going into production, but again, the script came to me. I love Kevin. I've always been a fan of Kevin's. Um, uh, I have to say, everyone. Well, I've watched a lot of Kevin's movies, and so I was really excited. My son, in particular, was very excited as well. And and then again, like I love action and I've always wanted to do more of it. So I was super excited to get to play a role like this. And then
Yeah.
again, like, I spoke with Ed, and Ed was really so sweet, and I think he is responsible for a lot of the heart in the movie. You know, he's
Mhm.
just such like a genuinely if he's like good person. Optimistic and kind, and I feel like that really translates. So I was excited to be a part of it.
Nice. Kevin, a few years ago, you were in Becky, and Becky was a very dark and different type of character for you. And you talked about how, this is action, this is different than what you normally do. Have you been, is this something you've been wanting to do where you're kind of getting a little bit out of the comedy and trying these darker roles or a little bit more hands-on action?
I don't think it's getting out of anything. It's really story, dictates for me. And, it's not like I'm actively pursuing something where I gotta look different in this or try to do, I'll show them, I don't think it's that so much as it's nice to do something a little bit outside of your comfort zone and try these different types of things. But I've always, I'll always love comedy and
Hmm.
uh, doing straight down the middle stuff too, and trying to make that better and better. As again, it's each project really. It depends on how you put all the pieces together, and I get more excited, and some you miss. Some things don't come together, but this one felt like it did. Have a lot of the pieces that I wanted, and Becky was fun too, in its own way. It was a different,
Right.
totally different movie that was really cool. But
Yeah.
this one even felt, as you learn and try these different things, you say, "Oh, let's try to incorporate this within this one." And some are, of course, are a little bit more real, or I've some have no comedy in them that I've done just recently. But this one is kind of nice blend of
Right.
the action. It was important the action looked good. That was important, but the family and the heart had to be there as well, and you know wanted to keep people invested, and feels like we did.
Hmm. Well, Christina, speaking of the action, your character is a wife and a mother, but you get the chance to be more than that. You get to go hands-on in the action and be a bit of a badass yourself. What was your prep like for that?
Well, like I said, I wasn't cast too far before we started shooting, so I didn't have a ton of time to train or anything. But I just, met with the stunt team a few times and learned the choreography. And then, my character's very good with knife work, so I had a lot of, they gave me a rubber dagger that I practiced with. And then just sort of went for it. I really don't like to embarrass myself, so I tried to do the best job I could.
I'm going to tell you this, Joshua. I literally had probably 3 months or something of like training with these guys. I went through, some crazy stuff, fight training, and I actually tore my bicep. Was going to get
Oh,
surgery, just working this thing because we wanted to look so real. And Christina was right; she didn't have much time to do that. And when you look at the movie, I
But
look at
I'm only in
her
one
stuff,
scene of fighting.
but it's
You've been
so
fighting
it's
the
so much.
entire
No,
time.
by the way, it's not true. It's even the well, I don't want to say shooting at the guy or doing the things, but it's the guy in the back room and stuff. All your actions and the way you do it, you sell it like in a way that I'm like, maybe I didn't need to do that 3 months of training. Like it doesn't matter. I guess you just gotta go.
You just
She
have to
was
be
so
full of rage.
it,
Full of rage.
she was
Fueled by
very
rage.
she was badass in this thing, is what I'm saying. And yeah, she made it
yeah.
look easy. But it was good. It all came together, and again, all the people were fighting too. That's the other thing. If you're fighting against kind of goofy actors, it doesn't look as impressive. We hired like pretty badass dudes that came in and fought, and badass women that came in and fought, and
Hmm.
it was we went for it. No one held back. I don't
Right.
didn't they didn't care that it was Christina Ricci. They really didn't. They were like, we're coming, and she was like, all right, let's go. You know. It was cool.
Well, I read, Kevin, that you did your own stunts. Was there anything that was like you were hesitant on or too much?
Um, I don't do all of them. Like I think this one I did pretty much, but I don't like heights or I don't want to hold a snake or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of scary because you're fighting big guy. Like I was fighting Miro is a professional wrestler that the big guy I fight in this one. And there's another guy that I fight that's a professional basketball player, and he's like, these guys are really big. So what scared me about that less with Miro is that they know how to throw a punch, right, and can hold it back. So, when you're a professional basketball player, you're just big, athletic, and strong, and you're throwing these punches. You don't know how to throw it's not a Hollywood punch.
Right.
Um, so Solomon's he was awesome. We would throw it, we'd mix it in, and you'd get dinged a little bit because neither of you are in the exact position that you should be from based on the choreography. You get sweaty, you're moving around, you're grabbing stuff, and it doesn't always end up like you want. And both sides, like I was hitting him, he was hitting me, and it was scary. And it was scary when you go, all right, we got to go again. We didn't get it, and I'm like, man, you're getting a little dinged up and you're out of breath, and it's scarier because the next time you're like, wow, if I couldn't do it when I was less tired, I'm more
Right.
tired now. I'm going to be more sloppy. You just got to be careful. It was wet, it was raining, and it was nighttime. So all these elements mixed
What were
in.
you doing that tore your bicep?
That was training. That was training for it. Look at this thing. It was
Uh,
training for it. We did the choreography, we did the whole setup of it, and they were like, "Hey, let's run it one more time slow." We ran it slow, and it was a scene where I had to, shoot in for a double leg takedown on this guy, and I shoot in and I grab it, and he stepped out to the side weird a little bit, and this is 60 for you, man. This is 60-year-old. This is what happens. It just ripped on me, and I was like, they were like, "All right, that was great," and I was like, "No, it's not great. Hold on, boys." And they didn't know what was going on because it wasn't like a big pop or anything like that. I just knew it ripped right away.
It hurts
right.
so much.
Oh, it didn't hurt that much, but I knew what it did. Like it was ripped off the bone. So it was like, oh boy, I'm done. And immediately I'm thinking like, I can't do this movie now. Like, how am I going to do this? And the thing with the torn bicep is if you want to get surgery on it, you have to do it while it's fresh within like 2 to 3 weeks. And I was like, I can't do that because then I can't do the movie. So I've given up the rest of my life with a bicep for this movie. So I hope you appreciate that, Christina, to
Can you
know
still use the bicep in a normal way? Like, can you still lift weights and stuff?
I can. It doesn't feel as good. It's like it's weird how little the bicep does for you. Like
Hmm.
it's like turning a key, uh, and like those little weird movements kind of hurt it, but you can do it. It just it's definitely less powerful. Like I definitely feel like I've you know less power in that arm. I'm always going to cramp there. It's all right though, but
Is it your left arm or right arm? I can't
it's my
tell.
right arm.
Oh no, are you right-handed?
I'm right-handed, but it doesn't affect it. By the way, if it makes you feel any better, I've ripped my left one too. It's just not
Oh,
as
Oh my
badly.
gosh.
So
at least
yeah,
you're even.
yes, this was
Symmetry.
different. So no, yeah, that's it. This is what happens when you hit an age and you still want to play with the big boys in stupid, crazy action movies.
Well,
Well,
you
I
don't
sat
see it
on
in the
my side
movie. It still
too long
looks
last
looks
night, and I
great.
couldn't walk when I woke up. So, I get it. If I sit for too long, my legs are numb.
Me
So,
too. I'm the same
yeah.
way. Literally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I know the a mobster or a henchman who like wants to get out of the life. That's kind of a classic trope. What do you guys think makes this story stand out a little bit? What do you think makes this one different?
Well, I mean, I think we've said it a bunch. This movie has a ton of heart. It's
Hmm.
really about a family. We play two parents who are in a very relatable situation. We're having financial issues. We have big hopes and dreams for ourselves and our kids, and we're just trying to sort of do what we can to give our kids and ourselves a better life. And I think sort of that being the whole the impetus for the whole thing, I think
Hmm.
lends a lot of heart to it. And while it's still like full of action and it's funny, I think that keeps it really kind of warm.
Right. I would agree with that. Did you guys know each other before? Had you guys met? I don't know if you mentioned that. No?
Oh,
Because the
I don't
the
know.
family chemistry feels like legit. It feels
See?
good. You guys did a good job.
Exactly. That's
we
I don't
genuinely like each other.
Yeah, that's how that works. It's crazy when that happens. And I said it before, but it's like on certain movie sets, you can make it work, but it's like when you don't have that chemistry, like when that chemistry's there, that shorthand, it just makes it so much more fun. And I really, it sounds so cliche to say, oh, it translates to, the film, but it does.
Right.
Screen, it just does. It really does. I've seen movies where I go, oh, I'm checked out there because I don't like,
Oh yeah.
it's like, or it's just not as good. It's a little bit, it's
Yeah,
not
I think
so,
Well,
you
I'm
can tell
gonna
when people feel comfortable around
yeah.
it or
yeah.
on camera in general.
I'm going to close out with one more question here because it seems like everybody was having a whole lot of fun on set, and it sounds like you guys got along really well. So I'm just curious, was there any funny behind the scenes, or was there anything that stood out to you guys that was just kind of a great fun moment from the filming or the making of the movie? Something we might not have seen in the movie?
Hmm.
I'm catching you off guard. I'm sorry.
Well, there was a
Remember
you
anything crazy happening when I was there?
yes. Well, yeah. I mean, we were dealing with the fires. You remember that and shooting with that, all that smoke coming in, and all that.
Mhm.
And by the way, there was one day too. You remember the day you had your headache? Remember that one?
Yes. Well,
With
that is also a memory. Kevin changed my life because I get these ocular migraines and I started to get one on set and Kevin called what
Skylar came in and
and he does
he does.
sports medicine therapy.
This is the crazy part. He doesn't. And I'm like, you cannot touch Christina Ricci. You can't. He's like, I just want to help her. I'm like, you can't do that. He's got such a big heart and he wants to help you. He's got no medical training. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I read about this, or his mother told him about like how this helps people with that. So I was like, oh no. And I was like, if she can't do this, she's gonna go down for the whole scene. And and you don't know what it's like to have these. And I'm like, I don't, but I've heard they are brutal and it's tough. But whether she faked it or not,
No, he did this thing to my neck and he taught me to do this thing and
okay,
now I can do it to myself and it stops them from fully coming on. It's amazing.
all right. I can't tell him that because he's gonna hold that over my head now forever. He's
All
gonna
right.
pretend
Well,
he's a
thank you
doctor on every
guys.
set.
And my nephew suffers from them also, so I was able to tell him how to
Oh, I
fix
love it.
this. It's been
There you
Awesome.
go. Miracle work.
That's
yeah.
right.
Thank you guys very much for talking to me. It was a very
Thanks.
fun movie. I enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing what you guys do next.
Awesome, Joshua. Thank you.